Hey there, before this episode begins, just want to thank Josh for coming on the show. He's a big friend to both myself and the podcast, and if you enjoy hearing from him, check him out on Twitch at King Tamakos. That's KingTamakos on Twitch. I also want to thank our patron Kevin, and if you'd like to become a patron yourself, go to patreon.com/pastime. But if you would like to support the podcast in other ways, you can just follow us on Twitter and Instagram at PastimeThinker, and just share the podcast with people who you think might enjoy it. Anyways, here's the episode. Hello and welcome to episode 15 of the Pastime Thinker podcast. I'm your host, Frederick Piquet, and today my guest is Joshua, otherwise known as King Tamakos on Twitch. How you doing, man?
You fucking did it again.
I did it again.
Oh, fuck.
Tamakos. Your name messes me up. I'm so sorry. I'm leaving it in. We're gonna keep recording.
Okay. I am doing well. How are you?
I'm doing well. Oh, it's been a busy week.
Yeah,
you're not gonna let me forget that, are you?
Oh, fuck no. Fuck no.
So yeah, Josh, you're part of the next phase, and you work in the restaurant industry, and yeah, how's that been? Is it busy? Is it dead? Like, you think we're gonna get another wave?
Oh, again, no, wait, definitely.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, maybe because of the U.S., but
yeah,
we are definitely getting the fucking wave.
Oh yeah, for sure. Well, like, do you think the restaurants opened too early, or reopened?
Honestly, if the U.S. was controlled, like, I wouldn't be worried about it.
Mm-hmm.
But since the U.S. is like going like batshit insane, I think it's kind of too early. Like, I'm more worried about people from the U.S. coming to Canada, and then we started to show up, and I'm technically a dishwasher, so I'm kind of in like the front lines in terms of that. That makes sense.
Yeah, you're touching all the things that other people touched, right?
Yeah, exactly. Like, I think like the waiters and then the dishwasher, you know?
Oh yeah, the waiters. That must be. Well, don't like waiters like have to wear masks and stuff when they're taking orders and whatnot?
Oh yeah, everyone wears a mask. Like, the people online, me, the waiters. Like, I'm actually surprised we don't have anything to cover our eyes, you know?
Yeah. Wait, even the line cooks have to wear masks?
Yes.
That I would kill myself. I was a line cook briefly, and between my glasses in the hot kitchen, if I had to wear a mask, like, also, like, I have no problem wearing a mask, like, out in public and stuff like that, but like specifically like working on the line with a mask on, that would be horrible.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like, the reason I say about we have like no eye protection whatsoever.
Okay.
But it's kind of a problem because it can go through the eyes, but
yeah,
like, I have glasses, so like I'm fine with that. But yeah.
No, yeah, like, again, I've been living a very sheltered throughout all this. I got to work from home and then I'm back at the office now that we're able to, and besides that, like, I haven't really left the house much, like, out of, respect for the rules and stuff like that. So, like, I really don't know what it do be like out there.
For the past 6 months, I've been basically playing World of Warcraft, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I have literally set up like 6 characters in order to solo farm Warlords of Draenor raiding in order to buy the WoW token, you know? So
no
basically I could
no,
obviously. Okay, so there's a WoW token is that if you trade in, like, I think the current WoW token price is about 120,000.
Sure.
If you get a WoW token, you can add 30 days of game time or $15 of the Blizzard like currency.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
that's cool that they put that in there. But World of Warcraft is just like a thing that, like, I've never been able to get into. I think I've installed World of Warcraft like 5 to 7 separate times, played it for like a night, and then never touched it.
Yeah, I think I tried to get you in that. I think that was in Warlords.
It was, I remember, I think the first time I played it, I think I was like some kind of werewolf.
Yeah, Wogan.
Yeah, and then the second time, or maybe even the third time, I think I was like a panda.
Pandalion. But yeah, that's basically a panda.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure. Like, I've tried
How
it.
do you know?
I've always wanted to like it. I just never have. Oh, I think I played as like a gnome one time.
Yeah, that's the name.
It is a gnome.
Uh, yeah, it's technically Gloam, but And how do you not know you're fucking wild lord, man?
I don't know the WoW lore. I really don't. Um yeah, no, I've always tried like that in League of Legends. I know that you're really into both. I think that's what always made me want to try and get into them, like for the sake of being able to play them with you. But like I've given them genuine tries, they just don't they just don't pull me in. Which I fully expected them to because I love those types of games. Like I can play Skyrim for hours, and World of Warcraft is basically just a I don't want to say reskinned Skyrim or vice versa, but like they're very similar. In terms of options.
Technically they're not, but yeah. Like honestly, for the League, I'm kind of glad you went into it because when I was like neck deep in the League, it was the most toxic shit I have ever played.
I have heard that there are some toxic fucking people on that video game. I mean, I've recently like really gone into a video game that has a huge toxic fan base.
Dead by Daylight.
Dead by fucking Daylight. It is.
Yeah.
I love the game. I love the game, and like sometimes I partake in the shit talking. Like if I feel like I'm justified, but like the amount of DMs. Like I've had a PlayStation account for years now. My DM box has been empty the entire time, unless it was like like message requests or like friend requests or like game requests from like my actual friends that I actually know. Like my DM box has genuinely been pretty well empty. I start playing this fucking game and like I get like 2 to 5 messages a night easily of people just talking shit.
Yeah, aren't you a killer main or?
I'm a very balanced. I play both. I play both the survivor and the killer. When I'm playing with my brother, I play survivor. When I'm playing by myself, I'll play killer. I'm definitely on the higher side of the ranking system on survivor than I am killer, but I play both.
But, yeah, I heard that the survivors is a bunch of whiny bitches. That makes sense.
So like for people who don't know the game, like Dead by Daylight is this.
You're not denying it.
Oh, I'm not. But just to get some context for the game, it's an asymmetrical survival horror game or whatever. So essentially, like you'll boot up a game, and the point is, if you're playing survivor, you need to escape. If you're playing killer, you need to kill the survivors. There's 4 survivors, 1 killer, and because of like the dynamic and like certain like power ups that each the killer and the survivors can use and stuff like that, the survivors are deemed as entitled like assholes, and the killers are seen as like whiny bitch complainers. And there's no winning because for the most part the survivors are right, for the most part the killers are right. I think the only way to get like the best out of the game is to like honest to god play an equal amount of both sides, because if you play killer enough, you're going to start whining about the perks that the survivors get. And if you play survivor enough, you're going to start getting very frustrated and start feeling entitled when you come across a really skilled killer.
Yeah, basically with League of Legends, the best way to play the game, especially if you're a jungler, is to mute chat. Like literally, mute the enemy chat, mute your own chat, and basically communicate with pings. Like yeah. I have done that, and as soon as I get to the end lobby screen, which is you can mute everyone, apparently my entire team was shit talking me, even though I basically won the game for them.
Oh yeah.
And I'm just like, what the fuck?
No, I get, oh man, like I know we're both talking about video games that probably the majority of the people that are listening like don't play or know of, but like
League of Legends and World of Warcraft are 2 of the biggest games of all time.
Well, I mean, sure. I mean, they might know the game, but they probably like they know of the game, but they probably haven't like played it themselves or like know the game, Especially,
yeah, that's true.
I know that I'm like doubly guilty with Dead by Daylight. You're definitely talking about like more mainstream video games.
Oh, definitely the whole esports craze.
Oh yeah, no, like I don't know. Does a toxic fan base like make or break video games for you? Like if you play an online game and just like the fan base and like the player base is just so toxic, will that make you stop playing the game, or do you not really care?
Uh, Honestly, it depends on the person. I mean, have you seen the games I play?
Yeah.
Like I play League of Legends. I play World of Warcraft. I fucking play Halo. You know.
You still play Halo?
Oh yeah, the Halo, the Master Chief Collection on PC.
Oh, that's right.
It's
They came out.
it's fucking amazing. You know.
Oh, that's another game that I wish I was more into, but I was a Sony kid. I played PlayStation. Like I've played Halo, but I've never like owned it and like played it regularly. Like I always grew up on like from PlayStation 1 to now.
I mean, honestly, if I had a choice between Halo and Call of Duty, like I would choose Halo. Like
Really?
I like the feeling of Halo better. That makes sense.
Yeah, I will say like you when playing Halo, you do feel a little invincible. I'll admit that. You feel pretty boosted.
It's not really invincible. Like I kind of prefer the multiplayer. Like single player, I kind of prefer too because multiplayer is kind of a active on in Call of Duty. You know.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. The Halo soundtrack is amazing. I love the entire series of Halo. Like they always come out with amazing soundtracks. I always listen to the soundtracks.
The Elfin track, man. Oh, not no, we're not fucking doing that.
But yeah, like I've again like I've gone to my cousin's place or like had a sleepover at a friend's house who had like an Xbox and they're like, oh, let's play Halo, and like I've played Halo, but I have not put a lot of hours into it. I'm not like into Halo, and that's mainly because I've always had a PlayStation, so I was playing Ratchet and Clank, I was playing Jack and Daxter, I was playing Call of Duty, those kind of games, like the Sony exclusives.
Yeah, I think by accident I collected most of the Ratchet and Clank games. You know, like on the PS2. You know.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, I collect video games, by the way. Not.
Yeah, I know you collect video games. It was one of the best parts about having a sleepover at your house, because you just had games I never knew about. Oh. Oh.
I mean, yeah. Like, have you ever heard something called the Bouncer by Square Enix?
The Bouncer?
Yeah, it's a PS2 game that basically like it's kind of like Streets of Rage like, but
Okay.
it had like RPG elements. Like it was made by Square, and like one of the main characters. Give me a sec. I'm just looking for the manual. God, I remember those
But
like
you just
fucking
you just
manuals. You know?
have you just have this random game on hand right now? Is that what's going on?
No, but that's actually wait now. One of the characters named Volt has a cactus like a pouch, but it's like has the circle, the red circle with the line cross. You know.
Okay.
But yeah.
Hmm.
Okay, sorry about that. I kind of went off topic.
Oh, it's fine. We're not really on a specific topic. But yeah, like
Yeah, that's true.
sometimes a toxic fan base can make or break a game for me. Like that's why I had to take a break from Call of Duty for a while. Once they implemented those death mics or death whispers, whatever they were called. Essentially, when you kill someone, you like the last like 3 seconds of their audio you can listen to. So like you'd kill someone and be like fucking bitch, or like just for those 3 seconds, just the most creative hurtful slurs that you can think of just for killing someone. So if you're getting like a lot of kills, like you're just getting berated the entire game, and like I didn't like it because I think I may have been like 12 or 13 or some bullshit like that, and like I just didn't. I stopped enjoying it for a while. I didn't know how to turn it off, and then my brother Bradley, I think, figured it out, and then I started playing more.
Honestly, if you really think about it, there's a certain type of beauty to it. If that makes any sense.
Oh yeah.
Like if you kill someone and someone like insult you, like honestly, my first thought it'd be like, "Oh, nice."
I mean, not gonna
Like
lie
you be
though.
not sorry.
I mean, I should probably give more context. I was a camper.
Fucking course you
I
are.
would just barricade myself in a little corner of the map and just wait for people to walk by. Like that
It's not.
that was my pro strat. That was my strategy.
It's not camping, it's power positions, okay?
Yeah, I'm keeping the map points on lockdown. Yeah, no, that was
I mean,
100% my playstyle. I was literally, I forget the exact perk loadout, but like I had the perk loadout that let me have 2 primary weapons. So I just have an assault rifle and a shotgun, and I'd bring all these claymores and explosives. I would completely sabotage anyone who tried to get into my little corner. I would make sure that I have like a good amount of field of vision. That way, if someone walked by, I can get a quick kill, and I just sit there the entire map. And I played this game so often that like I had like 2 or 3 favorite spots on every map. So like I always knew the moment I spawned in, I'd go to the closest little nook and I just like set myself up and sit there. And I was a kid, but I don't know. It was the only way I could do it.
they shit talk while doing that.
Oh no, not at all. I didn't even use a mic. I never even used a mic.
I'm guessing you never use a sniper or something like that.
I think once I got more competent at the game, I swapped out that shotgun for a sniper rifle, and I didn't camp as much. Which is funny because in the world of Call of Duty, a sniper rifle is an assault weapon.
Yeah, I mean, if the game developers did not want people to camp, they would have put such powerful positions on the map, you know?
Yeah. Or they'd like give you some kind of like penalty for it, like like again, I know this is like the second time I brought this game up, but in Dead by Daylight, the way the killer has to kill the survivors is by downing them and putting them on a hook. And then basically they have a time limit on the hook. Someone can either rescue them, or if they're on the hook for too long, like the all-being entity of evil thing sucks them into the sky, and then that survivor's dead. And the developers implemented a thing where if the killer is hanging out around a hooked survivor for too long, they get an experience points penalty, and like a heavy one at that. To that way the killer can't just like proxy or camp the hook, and it helps the game like actually be interesting. But a lot of people don't really care about it. There's still a lot of people who just like will hook you and then stare at you while you're on the hook.
Just look them down the eyes, you know?
Oh yeah, it's ridiculous.
Like, imagine if you actually did that in real life. Like, somebody just hook you for no reason, and then you look up, and then some like fucking like Cthulhu-esque creature just like had its like tentacle come down and just like suck you up.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, this like again, the lore of Dead by Daylight is just like there's this entity, there's multiple realities, and like this entity basically picks like his favorite people / murderers from each reality and just like throws them into what's called a trial, and just to like I guess it's just its way to like fuck shit up. It's a fun game, but we've probably talked about it enough, I think.
Shit place to live, but you know.
Shit place to live indeed. Oh.
Yeah, if I knew that screw it, I'm becoming a fucking crack addict, you know.
I mean, the cool part about it is like the game is actually made in Canada. I think they're based in Montreal, the people who made it, and a little bit they've been doing this for about 4 years, and for a little bit now they're every now and then they actually get a licensed killer, which is really fun. So like they have like Michael Myers, they have the Chainsaw Texas Massacre, they have Freddy Krueger. The newest one that they just got was Pyramid Head from Silent Hill. And it's getting more and more fun as it's getting more and more popular. I definitely want everybody to play it. It definitely make the queue times longer or shorter. That's the one drawback of this game is the queue times. Like you go to ready up, like you're ready to play, and you'll be sitting in a lobby for like 20 minutes. Which
to be fair, the fact that it's kind of a horror game plus the toxic community that kind of have a role in that, you know?
Absolutely. It absolutely does. Because I think that's why the community is so fucking toxic. Because if you're sitting there for 20 minutes to get into a game, and then it turns out to like not be or feel that it's a not fair game, like if you have like a very toxic killer or a bunch of toxic survivors, you're going to start resenting the other side because, you know, I had to wait 20 minutes to get into a game and you're fucking up my experience.
Oh god, that's kind of the same with League, to be honest. You know,
really?
Like I'll give some context. I made the ADC wall for the long time. So basically, what ADC or attack damage carry means is that I'm basically a late game insurance. That makes sense.
Okay, so you're
My
pretty regular, and then late game you're supposed to come in clutch.
no
Oh,
early to sometimes make game. It depends on champion.
okay.
I am completely fucking useless. I deal no damage. I have no CC whatsoever. My job in the early game is to literally just farm.
Okay.
Farm CS, so keeps going. And because I'm so fucking useless, I have a support with me to make sure I don't fucking die. Because I will literally die from a fucking like mosquito bite, you know?
Okay.
Like basically we have low health shit.
Yeah.
But you also gotta understand like there's an enemy ADC and support.
Yeah.
So sometimes my support would just stand from the back of me while I'm trying to fucking CS and I'm getting fucking chucked down, you know?
Yeah.
And when I'm trying to talk to him, like, hey, can you like be like side by side with me or even try to retaliate, I get called fucking like a fucking like I get called colorful language, as
Colorful
you could
language.
say.
Oh yeah. Well, because you're trying to tell someone else how to play their game, right? Which,
Yeah, but true. But if we play it wrong, I was like, and then the entire team bitch on me because I'm fucking behind. I'm just like, yeah, but this fucking support, you know?
oh yeah, like sometimes, like again, sometimes
Like
I
I
engage, sometimes I engage. Like it's just too good sometimes. Like the other night, I was playing Dead by Daylight, and I was using Michael Myers, who already has a really bad rap in the game because he has this ability that for like 2 full minutes he can insta kill you if you charge up his ability correctly. And I play the trial. I think I killed like 3 out of the 4 survivors. Like I didn't even get like a perfect game, but the game also has a scoring system. So regardless if you kill everybody, regardless if you escape or not, the game still scores you on like 4 big things that you have to do throughout the game. So I basically like got twice as many points as all of the other survivors. So according to the game, I played really well. It was just kind of a fluke that one guy got away, but whatever. Like according to the game, like I had twice as many points as everybody else, and they started berating me, messaging me, saying that I'm like not good at the game because I have to use Myers, not like, oh, you have to resort to using that guy. Like, wow, you must be really bad at this game and blah blah blah. And I just retaliated. I'm like, hey, I have twice as many points as you. Like the person telling you you're shit at the game isn't me, it's the game. And
yeah, but then again, I get flame if I'm like 1 CS down, which technically I'm behind. But like I get told by like the enemy mid lane or top lane or jungler, like oh shut up AD, you're behind, even though I'm technically ahead in terms of CS, in terms of kills, and just because I died to one fucking gank, like suddenly I'm the reason why we fucking lost.
yeah,
Like serious.
I just think it's
And even though the sole reason why I died is because I'm trying to protect my fucking support, because map awareness, he has a map awareness of fucking peanut, you know?
I think it's just any online game that's a competitive capacity, you're gonna get that. Like,
Yeah, definitely.
I don't think
Like,
it's particular games that are super bad or like this game is worse than that one. I think like any online game that has a competitive player base, like the whole point of the game is to compete. I think there's gonna be issues. Like
yeah,
people
so
are
basically, rank Q, basically.
Oh yeah, like people are gonna get entitled. People are gonna get upset. People are gonna think that they know more than you or that they play better than you. And if you kill them, it's because you were lucky and you had to resort to shitty tactics and blah blah blah. Like,
Basically, scrub coats
oh
on
yeah,
12, you know?
absolutely, absolutely.
I love that 12.
But yeah, anything else that you think that you'd like to talk about? I mean, we can address the elephant in the room. Your lisp. I like to call it a lisp.
Uh, honestly, like, it's technically a speech impediment, but
Okay.
yeah, you could call it what the fuck you want, you know?
Oh yeah. I mean, I've always, I mean, since we were kids, I always just considered it a lisp. I mean, I know that at this point I'm fairly used to it, but I know that for a lot of people listening, like maybe they don't quite understand. If you can shed some insight on that, I don't know.
So basically, I was born with ADHD, with speech impairment. Like, if somebody was born with ADHD, like, I think I'm not expert, but usually I think the ADHD come with something else, like
Oh,
autism or again, I'm not an expert, but like this is what I've been told or what I've been research online. But technically, I have ADHD with speech impairment. For
yeah.
me, there is different types of speech impairments,
Oh, for
but for
sure.
me, like for me, it's fuck. I had to breathe for a second.
I was talking for too long.
Yeah, that's basically me in a nutshell. So basically for me, it's my R's, like the end of my R's. You know, like if I say something like water, like the R's is not very precise. That makes sense.
Okay.
And I think also TH, like in certain things, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, so, like it's
Like,
hit or miss sometimes with that.
yeah, like if I speak slowly, like people can't understand me, but if I start talking like this, like I'm basically just like doing fucking gibberish, you know?
Again, it took me a while to get used to it. Like we met when we were kids, right?
Yeah, I
But
think like fourth grade or something.
something like that. It's when I switched schools, I think, because I went to a French school at first.
I don't know, like I kind of moved to the place we the place we like used to live in. Like
Yeah.
you used to live in, I'm still here. Like I'm trying to fix that, but you know. But at school, I think I was just like taking a nap on the wall, and you kind of walk up to me and say like, "Hey, do you want to play?" And
Oh
I was
God.
like, "Um, yeah, sure." And then we just started hanging out
Yeah.
in at school, and then I don't know if you remember this, but remember the first time we met outside of school?
No.
Like we, not,
No, I
uh,
don't.
I was at Tim Hortons near the Blockbuster, you know.
Yeah.
And I was getting a coffee with my mother, and then you walk in, and I was like, "Holy shit!" Like you,
Oh yeah. 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 Yeah.
and then like, "Oh my god, do you live like near here?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm like right behind the blockbuster." I was like, "Oh my god, I live here too. Do
Yeah.
you
I'm
want
just
to
up
have a
the hill.
sleepover or something?"
Yeah. I'm just up the hill. Like we literally like the Tim Hortons was the halfway point to our house, and we both lived like maybe 10 minutes from it.
I think we use that as a fucking meal point.
Yeah. Yeah, well, because that was before fucking cell phones and shit like that. I'd call you at the landline. I'm leaving the house now. I'll wait at the Tim Hortons.
Or we like a fucking play it like at school or something.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I remember that. Yeah, because we didn't have cell phones, so like once we were outside of the house, there was no way for us to check on each other's like position.
Technically we did have Facebook back then, but
Did we? No, not then. Did we?
uh,
I didn't get Facebook till late. In all honesty, like I was like in our age group, I was one of like the last people to like actually get Facebook.
I never fucking use it. You know, I
Yeah.
still don't use it. You know, like
I
the only time I use it is like a fucking Facebook Marketplace. You know,
yeah. Yeah, no, I was one of the last people in our grade to like actually get the Facebook. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, no, I remember that. I remember that. Fucking a world without fucking landlines and shit like that, though. Like, how did we get around? It was literally just using, like, I would leave you, like, one last message and, like, just name a landmark in our hometown and just pray to God that we get there around the same time.
uh, yeah, God, like, my God, you sound like a boomer, man.
I know, I know.
I mean, how old are you? Like 23?
Yeah,
I'm like 1 year older than you. You
yeah, I
know.
know, I know. But like we
Oh,
again, like we didn't have to live our life like that, but we still had to, like somewhat live our our childhood. We still had to live through like the transition from that to what it is now. Like
like
again, we didn't have.
sorry.
Oh no, it's fine.
I remember, like, I don't know if you remember this too, but I remember, like, we didn't talk for like a year or two for some reason. I think it because I left, I moved, I think.
Oh, I think
And
so.
then like I have two stories for this, but one story is I was visiting my grandmother in Timmins, and so I called you and said like, hey, and you were like, what's up? And I was like, do you want to hang out? And you said like, yeah, like, I didn't hear you for like 9 months, and I didn't hear you for like 9 months. Where you been? And I was like, oh, I moved. I was like, oh, and you were like, oh.
I remember that.
And then I was like, oh, you never went to school, so I'm kind of used to you disappearing.
I do remember that. I remember that phone call too. I was just like, oh, hello. And you're like, hey, it's Josh. I'm like, holy fuck, Josh, what's going on? You're like, yeah, I'm in town. I'm like, you haven't always been in town?
Yeah, I moved. Well, I don't live there now, so I'm fine saying it. Like, I moved to a place called Fairfield Falls.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah.
Basically, I moved to kind of the countryside. Like, I
the
forget
countryside of the countryside.
Yeah, I guess so. Like, I lived like there was a fucking lake in my backyard. Like there was a fucking tire swing, you know.
Every stereotype.
Yeah. I mean, it was a nice place, even though like 90% of the time I stay in my room playing video games. But you know,
for sure, for sure.
I had the life.
All right, well, we've been talking for about a half hour now. I think we're going to take a small ad break, and then we'll get back to this after the break.
Yep, no worries.
Alrighty, well, here we go.
I had no control, so.
True. All right, here's
I'm not putting a gun in your head. Be like, fucking stop it, bitch.
Do it now. Oh, all right. Here's the ad break.
Commercial break.
Yeah, commercial break. Here we go. This episode is sponsored by Brotherhood MFG. Brotherhood MFG is a clothing brand centered around car culture with a fresh style. Brotherhood MFG has even given me a special discount code to give to you guys. So if you go to teespring.com/stores/brotherhoodmfg and use discount code PASTIME in all caps, you'll get 13% off the entire store. All right, and we're back from that break. How are you doing? Made some coffee. Ate fucking rice cakes like a monster.
Hey, you texted me 5 minutes before I woke up, okay? I was basically watching to get this recording, man. Like, come on.
I mean, fair enough. It's just, I'm gonna judge you a little bit for eating like just rice cakes.
Were they? To be fair, I did have a banana, but you know.
Okay. Were they flavored at least? Like people who eat dry rice cakes. That I don't understand that. It's just it's dry. It hurts my mouth.
I was about to say like was the banana. I thought you were gonna say like was the banana flavored. Yes. The white cakes was flavored. Okay. It was a white cheddar, I believe. Okay. You can get like 12 of them in a package for like $20 on Amazon.
On Amazon, is that well priced? $20 for a dozen of them from Amazon? Can't get them at like the grocery store or anything?
You could, but with taxes and such, like I think it's like more than $20. So technically,
what the fuck?
So technically, if you can get cheaper online, I think.
Yo, how smug are the people who make rice cakes that think that rice cakes are worth $20?
I get 12. I get like 12 packs of them, you know, and there's like 4 white cakes, you know.
That I don't like that. I don't like that at all. Oh.
What you gonna do? Complain to a manager or something?
No. I'm not a Karen. That's been one of my guilty pleasures lately. I've been watching these like Karens Gone Wild like compilation videos of just like the craziest fucking people on YouTube right now. Of just like Karens caught in the wild.
Critical.
Oh my god. No, by Repzion.
Oh. What's Repzion?
Yeah, he's a cool little commentary channel. I've been following him for a little bit now.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, no, it's just some people, man, that are just willing to like lose their fucking mind over trivial shit out in public.
Dude, you used to work in a restaurant field.
I know. Well, at least like if people
sometimes sometimes I just want to give the whales a hug. But I don't want to because I might get accused of sexual harassment.
Like at least in a restaurant setting, I somewhat understand is because, like, yeah, like, if you're a very picky eater, or if you like eating things a certain way, like, one side of the coin is just make it at home then if you're so fucking picky. But like, on the other side is like, you are paying for a service, so like, I get it that you have like somewhat of an entitlement to, like, get your money's worth, but there is such thing as like excessiveness in their complaints.
It's not even like that, just say it nicely and no one will give shit. If you're an asshole about it, like,
oh yeah, oh for sure. I remember
like,
when I was working, like, it's the only kind of like quote unquote Karen that I've ever had to deal with, like, actually working in a kitchen. I had this lady. I've had this lady send her plate back to me like 4 times.
Oh,
and
I mean that did happen to me once.
Oh,
but I was the customer.
What? You did that?
I did lightly. Okay. There's this restaurant that I like that serves something called a breakfast poutine.
Breakfast poutine.
Yeah, basically it's kind of like a poutine with egg on it. That makes sense.
Okay.
It's fucking delicious.
All right.
But basically what happened is that there's some stuff that I don't want on it. If that makes sense.
Okay, well then yeah, that's on them. If you said I want this but leave out XYZ, and they put that in there.
They did that like 4 times.
Oh my god. Yeah, see, that's on
them. It was one single ingredient.
Oh my god, really?
Yeah, the same ingredient over and over again. I dig in, I take a bite, and I was like, oh, it's sold out. And the way it was like, seriously, I was like, here, I'll show you. Like, I'm not fucking caring, Like, if I'm complaining to something, like, there's a reason, Like, what? I get it. Like, I've been there. I've been there.
What I've learned, and if you do this, especially in a restaurant, one, you're saving yourself and the staff a huge headache. Just tell the waitress or waiter, like, a little white lie. Be like, hey, can there be no onions, please? I'm allergic. And then they will...
Not even like that.
What?
It's not even like that,
Yeah, if you just say that, they prioritize, and they're like, oh, because they have to take allergies seriously, and it's just a little white lie, and it's just like a little way to, like, make sure that they won't put it in there. Tell them you're fucking allergic.
Do you have any idea how much shit we had to go through because of allergies? Especially if it's in the same section.
Oh,
like, we had to watch fucking everything. Your food takes longer if you do that.
But at least it's right that way. But yeah,
still, yeah, it's a fucking dick move, man.
I don't know. I find it just saves a lot of, like, again, I don't do that because I'm not particularly picky, but, like, I know a couple people who do that, and, like, I thought it was ingenious because,
like, back to my story, like, at the 4th time, and I said, like, oh, there's no, like, the stuff I don't want in there, and the waiter was like, well, at least you're nice.
Thank God. That's a compliment. If you're able to send a dish back, like, 4 times and the waitresses still compliment you, like, that means you did it tactfully, like, you did it nicely.
I mean, technically, like I am kind of going off topic here, but if you're ever out on a date, the best first date place you can go to is a restaurant. You're basically studying your date, body language, and how they treat the waitresses.
Oh yeah,
if they're rude, get the fuck out of there.
Yeah, you can tell someone's character very quickly by how they treat, like, waiters and waitresses, like, super quickly. Like,
I'm a Time Figure podcast, where you get all your dating advice from a guy who never had a date.
But oh no, it's just like, I remember when I was working in the restaurant, this lady sent her dish back 4 times, and the way it ended, I almost lost my fucking mind. She ordered, I think it was like a hot hamburger or something like that. It's basically like a hamburger on a piece of bread with gravy on it. It came with a side of greens. And
I was about to say, like, wait, there's cold hamburgers. Yeah, but I know what you're talking about. Yeah, that's my mother's favorite, actually.
Oh, okay. So I sent the dish out, and like less than 10 minutes later, the waitress has come back and they're like, hey, she sent it back. She said that the vegetables are a little too hard. Like, she wants the vegetables a little bit softer. I went, okay, is there anything wrong with the hot hamburger? And they're like, no, 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 she did just the vegetables. I went, okay. And then, so I like, you know, redunked them, put little, like, re-upped it on, like, the garlic butter, like, boiled them for a little bit longer, made them a little bit soft, send it back out.
Fuck, that sounds good.
Yeah, like, 5 minutes later, she comes back. She says that they're still too hard. She wants them softer. I went, okay. So then I did it again.
At that point, just fucking overcooked them as hell.
Well, we're getting there. Sent it back. She sent it back.
Sorry.
She sent it back a third time, complaining that her hot hamburger was now cold and that the vegetables were mush. So, on the fourth time, I just completely remade her meal because of the complaint.
Fuck, I fucking been though. But for me, for my restaurant, it's percent, you know?
Yeah?
Like, basically, we make the percent, and then we put it up to the fucking warmer.
Yeah, the heat lamp?
And, yeah, the heat lamp. And, like, 15 minutes later, the waitresses picked up the percent and bring it to the customer, and then they immediately come back and say that the gravy is dry. Even though we've been trying to get their fucking attention for the past 15 fucking minutes, you know?
That's a whole other ball game in the restaurant game. The beef between kitchen staff and waitresses. Like, you are either...
I'm the dishwasher. I'm usually like the first... They usually... I don't know if there's like anything else, but I don't know if it's any other restaurant, but usually the waitresses like talk to me about like shitty like shit customers, you know.
I find
you'd be surprised how much shit talk the the house gets.
Oh yeah, I know. I like from my experience, like the guys in Dish Pit, they are Switzerland. Like it's basically like a three-way war: kitchen staff, waitresses, customers. And the Dish Pit is just Switzerland. Just everybody's friend, everybody's therapist.
Sorry. Fuck.
Oh.
I apparently don't know how to drink. Like some coffee got into my nose.
Oh my.
Fuck.
But yeah, like.
Fuck. Oh god.
You dying there?
Possibly.
Just simulated drowning right there.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
But,
sorry. Yeah. Continue with your story.
oh, it's just the people in Dish Pit are just Switzerland. Like there's always some kind of beef either between the kitchen staff, the wait staff, or the customer. But no one's ever mad at Dish Pit.
Yeah, they're just looking at this pit, like just like sad looking eyes, be like, yeah, I understand.
Yeah. Like, but yeah, there's like sometimes like the relationship between like line cooks and the wait staff is either really good or very, very volatile.
Like, I mean, I had a plate for me once.
Oh really? By who?
Yes. This was back in like my old workplace.
Yeah.
Basically, like one of the waitresses was like bitching about customer, and she got so angry she fucking threw a plate at me.
And just, oh my god, did she not know you were there?
I was just doing the dishes, you know. And she was like, "Oh my god, I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry." I'm just like, "What the fuck?"
Dude, the amount of like drama, like the amount of drama that happens in any kitchen setting. Like I've only worked in two separate kitchens, and it's basically the same thing no matter where you go. Like it's just like the same dynamic between the cooking staff and the wait staff, the same dynamic with the people who do the dishes, the same dynamic with the customer. It's the same. The only difference is the menu. But
yeah, that definitely makes sense. Like there's some waitresses that like, you know, like there's one that's kind of a cunt. But,
yeah.
You know.
I remember in my first kitchen job, it was getting so bad. Like the relationship between like the cooking staff and the wait staff was getting so bad that like as a remedy, my boss was considering just for the full-time employees. So he would pair like one of the full-time kitchen staff with one of the full-time waitresses, and basically you only cook for her orders. She only serves the food you cook, and and you guys share tips. So he was trying to like turn like the kitchen and wait staff into like separate teams.
I was about to say, like, what, the first name today or something?
No, it was like that though. It was like, so like it he never implemented it. It never ended up. I think there was like a huge thing about like the tips that the waitresses didn't like that idea. Like we still got like a small little tip out, but like I think he was like looking to like, and then you split the tips 50-50, so you guys better get along, or some bullshit like that. He never ended up implementing it, but he was like playing with the idea of basically making like, whenever Fred works, like this waiter works, and this waiter, like Fred only cooks the food that this waiter writes down, and this waiter only touches the food that Fred cooks. That way it would completely, he thought it would eliminate drama. He thought it would like boost communication. That way I only had to deal with one waiter, and the waiter only had to deal with one cook. And he never implemented it. He never ever implemented it. What?
Had that guy ever worked in a restaurant before?
He was the owner.
That was the fucking owner?
Yeah, the owner was he was considering it. He never actually implemented it.
Oh.
Yeah, and then all that did was get the kitchen staff really excited for that idea, because like on our end we're like, that's perfect. That will increase like to the line cooks. We were like, okay, that will increase communication. We'll get fucked up orders less, and we get more of the tip out. We're like, yeah, let's fucking do it. And then the wait staff were just. And then the wait staff was just like, don't touch my tips. And then it just blew up and made so much more drama afterwards.
To be fair, that does make sense. Because
it does.
I have talked to the whales, and they're like, yeah, 90% of my money come from tips. I was like, seriously?
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, yeah, we get paid like fucking like $3 an hour. I was like, what the fuck?
Oh, yeah, serving, like, it's the only way that you can make less than minimum wage is if you're a server. And it's called quote-unquote server's wage. And... yeah, like servers, they live off tips.
And if you really think about it, they deal with the most BS.
They really do. They really, really do. Like they're literally on the front line. Like if they're actually coming across like a legitimate Karen, like, you know, the kitchen staff, you know, they have to deal with her fucking demands or whatever. But like the waiters and waitresses, they actually have to deal with the person.
Yeah, I don't know if I told you this story. But I actually had to call the cops at work.
No, really?
Yes. Basically, there was these 4 guys that, I don't know if I'm allowed to talk about it, but basically, like, the manager kind of knew, like, one of them. And apparently, he's a drug dealer in this town.
Oh, nice.
And they would get, like, completely wasted. They would, like, shit-talking the bartender.
Oh.
And so, like, basically, like, they actually kind of post, like, the manager, I had to step in. I was like, back the fuck off, you know?
Yeah.
Like, as soon as I put my foot down, they all looked at me, and I just give them, like, a fucking serious look. And
it's very difficult to be intimidating. Just like, how do I look at them to let them know?
But yeah, so basically, like, they would, like, stop and go call the fucking cops, because they always, like, for what I've been told, they apparently always drunk drive, if that makes sense.
Oh, okay. So they were like, this was like a reoccurring thing. Like, they always come, they always get wasted, they always, like, leave drunk.
Not really like that. Like, I think that was the first time I saw them, but...
okay.
Basically, I was like, yeah, fuck it. Josh called the cops, and I was like, okay. And as soon as she said that, they immediately started sucking her dick.
Just like, oh, sorry, we were best friends, right?
Yeah, and then they all got in the truck, and the cop was there. And I was like, the truck, and then they stopped driving off, and that's basically the end of that.
Wow.
And basically, like, after that, people were like going, "What the fuck?" And I was like, "Yeah, it was an incident. Don't worry about it."
Yeah.
And we had a takeout that we didn't complete until after closing because we had to deal with that.
Oh.
And the guy was there. I was like, "Hey, do you have it?" And I was like, "Oh fuck, I'll go make it real quick." You know.
Oh, that's
like,
that's
I wasn't the closer. I was the pre-close. And
okay.
The closer was like, "Dude, seriously, we don't have to do that." I was like, "Yeah, but we kind of." There was kind of incidents, you know.
Yeah, it's not.
And so
yeah.
I just made that and just give it to him, apologize to him, say, tell the customer I'm sorry we had an incident, and then I just cleaned and then went home.
Yeah. Dude, like, restaurant life is interesting, honestly. It's it's a super super stressful environment though.
Honestly, there's two BOH back at the house.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, like there's two of them that I just one I both of them I kind of find relaxing, and
Oh,
that's prep cook and dishes.
yeah.
I don't know why, but for prep cook, I could just like okay, there's a bunch of stuff to do, but at least I'm doing something. And as soon as I've done all the list, it'd be like 8 hours in, and I'll be like, what the fuck?
Yeah. I
And
mean,
then and that's saying the dish for me too, you know.
I worked as a line cook, and like I always kind of felt bad because like for every dish we put out, the people in dish pit need a wash, right? So like the line cook staff was always the second last people to leave. The dish pit people were always the last people to leave, and I always felt bad for them. Like,
Yeah,
cause
basically this is like busiest time. It's always 40 minutes before 40 minutes after the line dishes time, you know?
oh yeah, because then we like not only like especially if we got a rush late that night, like not only do you need to like wash all these dishes, but like also here's all the kitchen dishes which take so much longer to clean. And then like, oh, well, we cleaned the kitchen up so we can leave, and then I just would like as we were leaving just like see like the pile of dishes in dish pit, and I would always feel so guilty.
Yeah, it happens, you know?
And then like the only way that like I would like rationalize it is just like, well, you know, I did my job, like you got to do your job, unfortunately.
Better you than me.
I mean, every now and then, like if they were like ridiculously like overcome with dishes, or if they were understaffed, like I would like the owner would ask one of the line staff to stick around, and if it was like one of my friends, like I'd stay and like finish with them. But if not, like I'd try to get the other line cook to do it. I'd feel bad for them, but not enough to like actually help them out.
Yeah, the one you hate. Like, just look at them just with evil smoke, like, bye, bitch.
Oh yeah. Yeah, no, like that's about the only crazy. Well, I have one more crazy story from the time working in a kitchen. Um,
Ooh,
uh,
dude.
so one of the waitresses got her boyfriend a job in the dish pit,
Hmm.
and it was
Yeah, that happened.
yeah, it was his first day. It was his first day, basically, you know, full training wheels. Like he's it's first day in the dish pit, first day working in a kitchen. His girlfriend has been working there like for like over 1 or 2 years. So like she knew the place, and I don't know what happened. I genuinely to this day still don't know what happened. I don't know if she had an altercation with the owner. I don't know if she had an altercation with one of the customers. I don't know if something was going on outside of work, but out of nowhere, she just started having a mental breakdown. Like just started going like just had a mental breakdown. And she freaked out in front of the owner. She freaked out in front of everybody who was dining, and she ran into the employees' women's washroom. And her boyfriend is just sitting there like, what the fuck? So her boyfriend went into the bathroom with her to like calm her down. And then when the owner found out about that, he fired them both because they're both employees of opposite sexes in the bathroom together, in the employee bathroom together. And he was like, I can't. He's like, that's a huge liability. Like, I'm so sorry.
What they?
What?
Honestly, I feel like that's kind of a bullshit policy. I mean, unless they were actually doing it, you
I don't.
know?
I don't think so. But I think he was also. I think he also like had enough of her. Like, I think. I think the breakdown had something to do with like him critiquing her work or something like that, or she wasn't doing well or something like that. And then when she essentially embarrassed him in front of all the customers and stuff like that, and then went into the bathroom with her boyfriend, he was just like, okay, that's enough.
I honestly feel more bad for the guy than
Oh yeah,
anything.
me too. But like again, I didn't know the whole situation. This would have happened like on my second or third day ever working there. Like I was super brand new.
Hmm.
Oh, but yeah,
Yeah,
that
yeah.
like I mean I've worked in a kitchen for like a little over 2 years collectively, and like that's basically all the stories I have from working in a kitchen.
Yeah, same for me. But mine's like, fuck, almost a decade. Like I
Oh,
started when I was 16.
oh, really?
Yeah.
My
It was the recommendation of I have to say now. It was the recommendation of a therapist
oh,
that I needed to get a job. So basically, that's basically what I did.
hmm,
And then I thought I was going to do school with the job, but then I started doing like 4 or 5 shifts a week. And it was, I started out as a line cook, so I was there at 8 a.m.
oh,
It was only until a year later I was like, "Hey, am I still doing school?" Because I didn't fucking realize. And she was like, "Oh no, no, you dropped out." I was like, "Oh fuck,
oh shit.
yeah, I need to get my GED."
Yeah, go for it, man. I mean, all the power to you, honestly.
Yeah, well, from with the whole like bug, like virus thing, that's
The bug
probably.
is that what we're referring it to with this bug going around?
I mean, we could say the BL, we could just say it. Like, it's honestly your choice.
Oh, I don't care. I do not care.
I'll call it the BL because I think it's funny.
The beer.
Ah. Like I kind of feel bad by them, even though technically their profits went up by like 10%
Oh
because of
my.
the virus.
Yeah. Oh. But yeah, I think this is probably a good place to end the episode. Honestly, I mean,
Hmm,
we got a lot of talking in. Um.
yeah,
Uh. So yeah. Thank you for being on, Joshua. For everybody listening, you can find him as King Tamakos on Instagram, Twitter, and most importantly, Twitch. Anything else that you'd like to add before we go?
um, did I mention how much I fucking love hentai?
Oh,
Like
okay. Okay. Goodbye, everybody.